Hello students, I'm going to show you a few things that you need to know about finishing up your paper and submitting it, and then when you get your feedback, how to make those revisions and resubmit it. So I have opened up a paper that I haven't graded yet, so even though you can see the name and title, it has a no grade because I haven't done it. But I wanted to show you this because I want you to be able to navigate Blackboard to find the responses that I give you and the feedback. So you'll see this little box that looks like a little call out bubble. And those are going to be the shape of the little boxes you'll see inside your document, and they'll be blue. And when you click on those, it will have feedback from me. So for example, if I gave this person feedback right here, it would look like that. And then as an example, it would look like this sitting inside your paper. So you should be able to look at your document and see these little blue boxes, okay? The other thing I want you to know is that in Blackboard, when you open this up, you should have a way to click on the thing that says research paper, which is an access to your rubric. In your rubric, you're going to see a lot of different categories underneath content and argument, structure and organization, and style and mechanics. This is where you'll receive an actual set of points, right? And then you can also see at the bottom, I will probably type a note to you about some things you need to work on. Okay, so that's where you'll see it inside here in Blackboard. Off to the side, look for these little boxes and look for the notes inside the rubric. And then I also wanted to show you where you're going to actually go to turn it in. I know most of you have already done this, but just in case you need to see it still, inside the assignments folder, there's a research paper folder. And down here where it says research paper, you're going to submit both versions here. So if you've already submitted one, you've probably gotten feedback, or if not, you'll get feedback very soon. I've been working through them this week. When you get that feedback, you make the revisions, save those changes to your document, and then upload the new one to this same Dropbox. You don't have to retitle it. You don't have to call your first one a rough draft. You don't have to put a pre and a post. You just submit the new one. And I will know when I open it up in Blackboard that it's the newest because it'll indicate so on there for me. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. The other thing I wanted to show you was that if you go to, there's a link to it, we have it on Blackboard, but you can go to the OWL website and there's a lot of resources for APA for you. And the best one is this sample paper, okay? And this is what it looks like when you open it up. I like this because it shows you all the formatting you need to follow, shows you exactly what you need to have, what your heading should look like, what where your page number should be, and it even has these little blue and green boxes explaining it to you, so you can read each box to make sure you understand what you're supposed to have there. There are certain things we can leave out for the purpose of our paper. We don't need the author's note. Any of this stuff down here we can leave out. Because you're an undergraduate, that's not as necessary, but you do need your name. You can put Cal State University Dominguez Hills. You can put my name if you want to, but really your name and then Cal State Dominguez Hills is important, and the title of your paper. This should be about a third of the way down the page or so, right? A little above halfway. And then you want to make sure that your abstract is on the next page on its own. It doesn't blend right in with your paper. It should have its own section. You can identify some keywords, if you like, that match the topic of your paper, what are vocabulary that people should know as they read your paper. And then notice that the next page, we still have this running head going, okay? Still have our page numbers. We're gonna have our title to the paper again. And I know it's gonna feel kind of redundant thinking we already have the title on the first cover page, but we're gonna put it again. Then we're gonna indent every paragraph after that. And our level 1 headings are going to be centered and bold. And many of you will only have level 1 headings, that's fine. But if you happen to have a level 2 heading, meaning that you have sort of a subtopic within that major topic, then that would look a little differently. That would look like this. It would be over to the left and it would be bold. Then if you had a level 3 heading, which you probably wouldn't, but you could, that would be bold and indented, like this one. And it would not be all caps, it would just be the first letter that's capitalized, and there would be a period. So that's how you do your headings. Please think of headings as like your outline. whatever your topics were that you included on your outline, that's what your heading should probably be. It's a way to organize your paper and show everybody what we're about to read in that section. I'm going to also point out to you what your reference page should look like. It is not a works cited. It is not your annotated bibliography. It is just the references. The annotated bibliography was a chance for you to read and write about these sources, and you can copy and paste those paragraphs into your paper if you think they match, and you can add to it and change it, but you don't put that summary here. This is just your reference, that's it. Notice the indent on the second line. Notice what's included here and the order in which everything goes. So this is also a good example. A PDF of this is already available on Blackboard for you, and you can check that out under the resources folder. So please make sure that you are watching for your revisions and then making those changes and resubmitting them. You're also going to see a PDF shared with you that looks like this. This is a set of steps that I would like you to go through before you submit your final draft. And I don't believe anybody's on their final draft yet. I know a lot of you have turned in your rough drafts and got feedback or are getting feedback, but I don't think anybody has resubmitted yet. If you have, you can still go back and resubmit if you see something you didn't do. So I want you to look at these checklists here on this Finalizing Your Paper handout, the little poster I created to help you finalize everything and realize that there's a lot of stuff to make sure you did before you submit so that you can save yourself the hassle of having to submit it 4 or 5 times. So first, start with these basic questions. Ask yourself all these and decide, did I do those things or not? If you did, great, move on to the next. Now think about these areas of revision. What do you need to change in your paper? What do you need to add to your paper? Is there something that you didn't do that you should have done? And then a little checklist for APA. Of course, the example paper I showed you is probably the best way to prepare for checking your APA, but this is a nice little checklist to remind yourself that you need to have all these things. And this is very helpful. These 3 videos I found are all about APA formatting. So please take a look at these if you think you need help with your title page, your headings, abstract, any of that stuff, in-text citations, and your reference list. These are really good examples, and the person uses Microsoft Word to show you how to do it. So you can follow along on your own computer. All right, good luck. Remember that there's no class during finals week, this week or finals week, and during that time, you are to be making your revisions, and you can come in and meet with me according to the times that I posted on Blackboard. Good luck. I hope you had a good semester, and I hope you make it through finals and do a great job on them like I know you will.